Welcome to episode 18 of Pineapples and Thorns. I'm Kat, and with me tonight is Peter.
3 stars for the good guys.
Yay! And we also have a special guest with us tonight, but I'll introduce him after we run through our updates and news. You want to handle the first part of the news, Peter?
So, SCWL has passed. We're running 2 clans now of Town Hall 14s for Redthorn. TGF Rising rose from Masters 3 to Masters... Masters 3 to Masters 2, so that's good. And awesome. Redthorn's stuck in Champs. They had a good week. I did not have a good week, so that's all we're going to say. we're sticking in Champs, so that's all that mattered.
We don't want to talk about that, do we?
That's right. We don't want to talk about that.
Awesome. So let's talk about Redthorn. I'm going to talk about the fact that we are extremely heavy with 14s now. We welcomed a group of 14s from Unholy Cronuts to Redthorn. So we're getting really fat. And KGH, a little bit of news there. We recently welcomed a new elder in there, Durandon, and he's a fantastic addition to the council there. And KGH Academy brought home third place in the Hunger Clash League Refresh A division. So well done to them.
Yes, congratulations.
So let's introduce our special guest. He's played in clans such as The Wall, The Rated, Bad Intentions, Axie Something, Crystal Warrior, just to name a few. He's now playing in Redthorn and dazzling us with his sarcastic wit. Fado, tell us a little bit about your Clash history, what accounts you play. And
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And
speechless.
No, I you know what would be great is if I had like a tagline when I tripled, but it's so rare that it really, I don't even need one. So I
you
don't
could use
have
mine.
that, like 3 stars for the good. I have to co-opt one, but thank you. I'm playing 2 accounts. My main is in Redthorn, as you said. It's a 14. It has about 2/3 of the walls done that are open. Most of the defenses are done. I'm just working on the last round of builder huts, mortars, cannons, and archer towers. And then I have a baby 13, which was a completely rushed 12 about a year ago.
Yeah.
It's now finally a 13. The heroes are probably 2 months from being done, but I've barely started on the defenses. I've just been, that grind with the storages and the barracks and all the other stuff. So I've just been focusing on heroes and that stuff. And that one is called Thanatos, and it's written in Greek to make people upset. So yeah, that one's in that one's in Darkthorn. It's a co-leader there, so it's not the most active clan. So I set a bad example, though. I've not been warring a lot lately just because of the heroes all being down. But at any rate, it's a lot of fun during CWL. It's like it's like night and day. It's a bit more active then. And I will do my best to get more active once these heroes get done, because it's a great clan. It's supported Redthorn for a long time, and not really supported Redthorn, but just worked hand in hand with it.
Definitely. And I mean, you really made quite amazing progress because you took a fairly long break there from Clash, didn't you?
It ended up being about a year and a half, and pandemic boredom set in. I was like, well, I know something else I could get into. And I was like, okay, what's a super troop? What's a headhunter? All that stuff. So, but yeah, I've been furiously playing catch up, and I'm almost caught up on the 14, and I've at least repaired the other account I have to the point where, it didn't have all the Town Hall 9 defenses with a, Town Hall 12, Town Hall. So
wow.
That's amazing. So one thing I wanted to talk to you tonight about is you have this extremely interesting avatar. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
All right. So contrary to popular belief, it's not my glamour shot from my class of 78 photos. So first off, I'm not the class of 78. I'm a class of 91. So poo. And 2, when I was growing up, HBO, Showtime were just getting off the ground. And I don't know either. They weren't all that expensive to add to your cable package like in the early 80s or whatnot, but there was this short that would play between movies on, I think it was HBO. It was called Hardware Wars. And Hardware Wars was a spoof of Star Wars. It was made with a budget of $8,000. It was basically a bunch of dudes, probably under altered minds, who took any objects they could find and did like a Star Wars spoof. So my
It's hilarious.
avatar is Fluke Starbucker, who is supposedly, as you might guess, the Luke Skywalker of the film, and he's kind of a whiny kid in it, which is a real stretch, you know. So that's the avatar. I would highly recommend it. It's on YouTube. It's like 13 minutes long. It'll laugh. It'll make you laugh. It'll make you cry. It'll make you kiss $3 goodbye. And that's how like the trailer of it ends. So give it a watch if you have 13 minutes to burn and have nothing to do.
I guess I know what I'm doing after the show. So let's leap into some of the talking points that I wanted to go over tonight. Rusty couldn't be here. He's dealing with the weather system in BC and the flooding there. So we're thinking about him and his family tonight. But he and I are tackling the CFF Unbreakable Challenge. It's inspired by a bunch of our friends at Redthorn, Outlaw, Insom, and C Note. A bunch of us have dropped down to bronze to try and get this crazy challenge. You have to get 5,000 defenses. And when I started, I guess about 2 weeks ago, gosh, I've been playing for 7 years and I had 815 defenses. So my bases are terrible. But in the 2 weeks that I've been doing it, I'm now at 1650.
Wow.
And Rusty is at 1633. So we're going to race to Unbreakable.
So, pardon me. How long have you been doing the Unbreakable Challenge?
Seriously starting it?
Yeah.
It's been about 2 weeks now.
Okay. So you got about 400 per week. You're going to be stuck in bronze for a good 2 months, miss.
Yep. It's not easy, let me tell you.
But you're not feeling the stress of like Legends and all those like demand hits of a day, right? It's fun, different.
It's different. It's a challenge to stay down that low, but it's refreshing to not have to do that grind of the 8 Legend hits a day, and a nice break from that. And when I finish this, I'll probably be ready to go back up again.
I imagine it's a bit of like a time machine because you probably see some wall colors you completely forgot about.
It's pretty interesting down there, let me tell you. It's a mix of like max bases and the bases that burn your eyes. So gold walls, pink walls, and there are Town Hall 14s, and there's dead bases down there. It's pretty much everything you can imagine. So
how many defenses do you have right now, Fado?
Pardon me?
How many defenses do you have right now?
Let me look. I think last I checked, and I don't keep a regular eye on this, but I started this in late 2013. Where is it? 1,842.
Wow.
not bad.
So at this rate, I'd be playing until 2037.
Perfect.
Well, and you get the kingly amount of 100 gems for completing this challenge. So.
But there are not many of you that will have it, right? Remember when we talked about it the first time, and then Insom DM me and said, "Hey, I got that." It's not that, and then it's like started the conversation.
Yeah, I believe Hefe's doing it, and
Ink is on my friends list, and he's way down there.
He's down there too. Yeah, there's a whole bunch that have decided to pursue it. So it's going to be fun. It's just something to do for fun. So.
Oh, the Golem King. What do you think of the Golem King? What do you think of that Golem King? I took a poll in TGF Rising when the gold pass dropped, and hoping for a bunch of feedback. And again, I think it was only Insom that answered. He did not like it, but I think it's kind of cool. I saw it in some of the streamed wars, and the golem's big, and it makes it look like I really like it, actually.
Yeah, I think I saw it on the World Last Chance qualifiers as well. One of the guys from TT had it, and it looked pretty cool.
It just screams that they're out of ideas to me.
We had the Valkyrie Queen already, so I mean, I didn't think that was too much of a stretch.
Make it cool. I mean, the golem, you kill a golem, what happens? It splits into 3 little golemites.
Mm-hmm.
You kill the golem king. I think you should have 3 golemite kings come out.
I like
that would be cool.
Golemite barbarians when you hit the ability.
Yeah. Hey, call me Darian. I know you're listening at Fado COC.
The thing is, like, it would be a logical progression for these skins to give your hero an ability, right?
That could be an interesting like TH15 idea.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're already, I
Yeah,
mean, but in a way, like I'll say this, like that might have been what they were thinking with the pets, because you kind of give them a little bit of extra ability that way.
right.
But doing it with a skin too, sure, I'm all ears on that.
Yeah, like I mean, the champion king has a flaming sword, right? And all his little barbarian guys run around with little flaming swords.
which I really appreciate because I can kind of keep track of them a little easier.
It's very
That's
much
probably still
easier
my
to.
favorite. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would see them like if they're doing that, it'll be more of like a special offer as opposed to a season
Hmm.
pass, because I think wasn't the Champion King like a 6.99 or 9.99 guy?
Yes. But that leads to the question, are we going to get the champion queen or warden or royal champion next? Everything will be flaming. Her expo will be flaming. His book will be on fire.
I like this idea. I think
A flaming
a
field
flaming
too.
RC would be good.
I mean, more fire.
I lose her sometimes.
Fire.
But some of the skins do tend to kind of fade. In, camouflage, I guess is the proper word.
Well, what was the king with the pumpkin on the head or whatever? I mean, come on.
Oh,
I didn't. I've got that one somewhere, and I'm just like I want to delete it. I just like I can't use it. I just can't look at him. He looks
yeah,
silly. It's supposed to be bad.
yeah. No, I definitely like. They had the one queen skin for Chinese New Year, where she has the black hair. Like I really like
And
that one.
and the red robe.
Yes, yeah, that was another one that you had to buy.
Shoot, that was probably during my hiatus. That sounds
Yeah,
pretty cool.
yeah, and so we had missed it. Like I had missed purchasing it, and then I guess the following year they brought her back so that you could buy had the opportunity to buy her again. So I bought her.
And you use that mostly, don't you, Kat?
I do. That's my
Yeah.
favorite
So
queen skin.
watch one of her replays, Fado, and you'll see.
Yeah.
Will do.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about skins. Do you have any wishes on what kind of skins you'd like to see besides the champion?
Well, I think the Hardware Wars collection would be a big hit in the Fado household. But seriously, they just kind of gotta keep combing, I think, either things that are seasonal or in pop culture.
Yeah.
I am kind of surprised that there aren't more Asian themed things, because I haven't seen the stats. It just, when you look at the pros, a lot more, it seems like a lot more pros are from Asia, or at least
Hmm.
the most successful ones. And so, I'm making an assumption or something, but it feels like if they did like, more of the ninja stuff.
Ninja King. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Ninja
Give 'em
RC. Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
katana. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be very cool.
Or, maybe they enter in a partnership with like Marvel or the Marvel universe. Marvel, listen to me. Can we beat that out, please? I'm just gonna have to wear that one, aren't I? If they partnered with Marvel or something, they could probably do some really cool stuff.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea.
Yeah,
The
and I mean they're charging for some of those higher end skins, so maybe Marvel would let them do that. That's interesting.
merchandising, definitely a
Yeah,
cool idea. Did any of you catch the last chance qualifiers?
absolutely.
Yep, I was up late watching.
Yeah. So Athelian Esports pulled a major upset, getting the golden ticket on day one. And our friends at Torilla Tavatan, they came up with a really cool new attack called the TT Smash. And Carbonfin actually profiled it and them on his YouTube channel. Peter, you've been playing with that a bit. Do you want to tell us how that's working for you?
Yeah, the day after that I was able to boost super archers, which is the core of that army. So it's Yetis with super archers in behind. The Gorilla Tatavan guys, they run skeleton spells. And sorry, and the log launcher is the siege machine to get them in. A couple of super
Mm-hmm.
wall breakers, and they run skeleton spells and free spells just to kind of maximize the value. It's a little bit spammy, but it's again you have to pick the right side of the base to go in. So I did it both on Zarch and on Peter, and over my legend day, I think I got 14 attacks. I got 2 triples out of it. So, but I really miss my bats. So now I've started including bats in with them. There's a good synergy because the Yetis get out in front, and those little Yeti mites really do take down the defenses. And super archers under rage are powerful. Like, you get them in the core and they just shoot in every direction and stuff drops fast.
Yeah, their range is incredible, really.
Yeah, I think ODS said on Carbon Finn's video that it is 1 tile more than the Archer Queen.
Wow,
So yeah, it's quite a good range.
pretty amazing.
Yeah, I thought the TT Smash was the one takeaway, but the thing that I really left with, obviously, like QSFN, they're so good, but they
Hmm.
got beat, and it's just like, oh my gosh, you cannot have a bad day.
Exactly.
And like these clans, I mean, it's the strategy that's involved. I mean, for weeks, for a long period of time, TT was sitting on that strat, and the scouting that went into it from all these teams, including the self scouting, right? So
Hmm.
say the scouting of, I can't remember which clan did it, but they threw a bunch of ring bases at MCES, and MCES ended up losing that war. I don't
Yeah.
know how they knew to do that, but it was clearly strategic. And then on the other end, like TT was self scouting. Like everyone knows we're going to run Inferno drags or clone drag spam or something, or clone loon or something like that. They're going to say it's air spam of some sort. So they come out with something completely different.
Yeah.
I mean, the level of practice, the level of base building, the level of thinking, it's really impressive.
Yeah, I agree. It's people don't realize when they watch these streams the amount of work that each and every one of these teams has put into preparing. So to have a bad day, it happens. And kudos to the teams that make it, because you're firing on all cylinders and things are going your way, and you've just by being there, every team has earned the right to go to Worlds.
Hmm.
So kudos to all the teams that made it to those 2 days. And it's heartbreaking to lose, but it's, I think, each time that you're in something like that, it's a learning experience, and it prepares you to come back maybe stronger for the next time if you want to go for it again.
Worlds is online again, right?
Yes. Yeah.
That's too bad.
Yeah. And I know some of the teams were in the last chance qualifier because they got disqualified from the gold ticket and ended up with a silver ticket, I think. I think that's how it worked.
No, I think they lost it completely, Kat. I think
Oh, did they lose it
they
completely? Oh,
yeah.
okay. Yeah, that would be heartbreaking to lose because you disconnected for 5 seconds or something.
That's right. Your
Yeah,
cat
and
kicked the cable out.
either thrown out of the qualifier. I think there was a team that was like, you're disqualified for the year. I can't remember.
Wow.
I didn't read all the circumstances and whatever
Mm-hmm.
drama might have accompanied that, but
Oh, yes. That
gosh.
was the win trading fiasco, right? Where they didn't complete his attack, or he's about to have a 3-star
Oh, that
and ended
one.
the.
Yes,
So
yes.
that's a little more. I understand why they're disqualified.
Yeah,
That's not fair play
yeah,
anymore.
that's a little bit different. But
Yeah.
but you look at some of the players. They have to have their integrity camera. They have 2 cameras, I guess, on them, and
Mhm.
they have to be able to see the person and their screen at all times. It can be a little tough when you see some of the players like lying on a couch and playing on their
That's
phone.
my favorite. I'm gonna. I
Our
really
good
think.
friend Conan.
I think that's the element missing from my game to get to the pro level.
Be
Absolutely.
lying on the couch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, if maybe the bed is my thing. You know,
when your wife walks in, you just say, "I'm sorry, I'm practicing
She,
for a major league war here." And
honey,
she see I'm
honey,
busy.
why are there several cameras set up in our bedroom suddenly?
Oh, you got some explaining to do.
Oh dear,
Don't worry, it's for money.
I'm getting paid for this. Honest. Okay, moving right along. Let's talk about what determines order on the war map.
Right. So this one, it was interesting because I was talking where we were in Clash in the clan chat, and Michigan mentioned why am I so low on the map? My kid made his account like 8 months after mine.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, Little Michigan is, I think, now third or fourth on the map. And Michigan's down where I am, like at 17, 20, somewhere in there. So
Right.
I DM'd him on Saturday just to say, can you just, give me those dates again? He says, you know what? I've been thinking. I think my son might have actually started his, but not started playing until he convinced me to play. So I still don't really know why the order is what it is, but have you guys noticed it's changed?
Maybe when you put repair the clan castle for the first time. That's just a
Mm.
guess. I always thought it was like the date you install, like you've opened it and entered a name or something.
That's right. That's what we all kind of thought. First the
Yeah.
maxers would be, and then the maxes would be in sorted in order there, and then everybody else as they maxed out would get sorted into the creation order. But yeah,
Yeah.
haven't figured that out.
For a little while, I was up at around number 5 on the war map when we had all those new things to upgrade, and I was madly farming and upgrading, and now all of a sudden I'm down about 18. so obviously, and everybody is pretty much max now.
Well, I mean, all we can say then, we know it doesn't include your Discord level in the Red Thorn server.
It certainly
Because
doesn't
Cat would be
include my
number one all the time.
yeah. Well, number 1 in Discord and like bottom of the barrel when it comes to Clash skills.
Oh,
So
stop.
yeah, so I think there's some kind of a strange algorithm that has something to do with like weight, and it factors in maybe how old the account is and that sort of thing. So that probably all plays into it.
But it feels like it's changed recently. It does seem like the order is not normal, like out of order a little.
Yeah, it could be some glitching in the system. Who knows, eh?
Who
If
knows?
if the December update doesn't introduce a crazy number of like new defensive upgrades, like I'm a month and a half or so from being max. It'd be interesting to see what where it throws me on the map.
It is interesting, yeah, because what's left? Are there any defenses that still need to be upgraded? Sweepers. I keep talking about
So
sweepers.
I heard someone, I think it was Catfish, saying, usually there's 2 levels of Archer towers. So I think we might be
Oh,
due a level of Archer tower along with more walls again.
yeah.
I could see the cannons and perhaps Teslas, and I hope not, but another level on the builders would be
Hmm.
just from a defensive standpoint.
What about more levels on the pets? You
I mean, I could use another 25 levels. I don't know about you guys.
think? No, not 25 levels.
He doesn't mean from a farming point of view. I think he just means from a power. More
Oh,
power.
power.
Yeah.
Unlimited power.
Unlimited power.
So what I'd like to see coming up is an option to buy a bigger clan. Like right now we're limited to 50. So why can't I spend 1,000 gems and increase our clan size to 60 or 75? There's no perks for once you pass level 10 on the clan perk cycle, you get nothing. So could that be a perk when you hit level 25 or something, do you think?
The issue I see, and it's not a horrible one, but that would reduce the number of clans that are active because suddenly you're
Hmm,
adding
possibly, yeah.
10 or 20 extra people taking, your war spins, you're not gonna, I don't know. That could theoretically reduce the number of clans, which, when CWL is really 15v15 for the most part in the upper levels, that's not the biggest deal. My thing on that is I would rather them figure out a way to where you could say these are my like family clans. You could bounce between them. You could even like if I post a request in Darkthorn, it pops up in Redthorn too. And to me,
Oh, I like this idea.
yeah, like the 60 or 75, like I mean, it's easy to it makes sense like in a Redthorn though because Cat, you're really plugged in. So many people across so many clans. We have people visiting, and the people we have, are self-managing. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
We just don't have
Yes.
problems. That would be really interesting, for a high drama type clan.
Yeah, I think I like your idea in terms of like enhancing the community aspect of there are a lot of clan families, right? So it would be nice to be able to have that interaction in game that you just don't have right now. So you're right, like being able to somehow mesh two clans together. We are, Toggle and we are clan family with Darkthorn, for example. So in chat, in game, we could interact with each other.
Yeah, that's a really great idea. I love,
And yet,
especially the troop thing.
yeah, and yet the wars would be separate, but the chat could be somehow meshed. Like maybe there could be an option select clans that you are family with, and then your chat you could have like a well, instead of a global chat, you could have a family chat, and
Mhm.
and then you could have your war chat for your clan separately. Because right now everybody is using Discord or another
Yes,
voice type app to run their clans and to go on voice and to discuss things, and it would be really nice to maybe have that social aspect in game. Maybe not the voice part of it, but the ability to chat within your clan family.
agreed.
So hopefully they maybe consider something like that. Let's talk about super troops. Right now we are only able to unlock a maximum of 2 at a time, and we can't donate anything that we don't have unlocked, even with gems. What do you guys think about that? Is it time they just let you unlock everything you want, or just be able to donate?
Yeah, I'm looking at a poor guy in Redthorn right now who can't get Super Whiz, and it's like I mean, it feels like it would be great if the way it works in Friendly Wars was the way it worked for War,
Hmm.
but all your farming and stuff, you'd still have to unlock 2 at a time. But my take on it is there has to be an explanation because Supercell came up with CWL, and that's fought under like farm war rules, so you have to have
Mm-hmm.
those unlocked. So I think it's an extra element to the game they added for strategy. Like I don't know. I guess I don't understand why there's a disconnect between friendly and farm wars, for lack of a better word, classic wars.
Mm-hmm.
But they must have thought it through and probably had input from Itsu or someone like that who it's crazy if you watch enough of his videos and he has like a complaint or observation, you better believe like Supercell's listening because the faster
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
like the black air bomb speed, like that came right out of his video.
Yes.
So but there must be an explanation on the super troops, but I've kind of filibustered this topic long enough. I will let Peter speak.
I would like for Town Hall 15 that they allow us to upgrade a barrack, and that now will grow as Super Troop. So, if you want sneaky goblins all the time, you upgrade the barrack for, let's say, 300,000 Dark Elixir, but
Mm-hmm.
now you're going to have to pick that one. It'll be permanent. You still get to pick your 2. I still say limit the number you can have in an army, but let us, we're Town Hall 15s, right? We're already waiting 21 days for some upgrades. Let us
Mm-hmm.
let us let us give away the stuff. It's not like we're holding back here. We want to share. I've
Yeah.
picked super archers this week. I can't fill CCs with super minions. It's just the give and the take.
Yeah, it's a little bit frustrating. What super troops would you guys like to see in the next update?
Well, let me open my troop bar.
Some of the other places I visit, or some of the other Discord channels I'm in, they're talking about a super healer, and instead
Oh
This
of
is
wow.
super healer.
instead of a heal, like instead of a healing, she throws down rage, rage, rage. So,
Oh wow.
but I can't imagine how heavy she would be, right? What's a healer now? 14, so probably about triple that. So
50.
yeah, 50 odd. So that could be expensive, but I kind of
Yeah.
that's a neat idea.
I think a super dragon would be cool.
How about a sneaky hog rider?
Ooh.
You want to get that like air defense like on the outside? Like I mean, you kind of have a rocket loons,
Mm-hmm.
or I don't know, a super drag. I'm kind of spitballing because I'm actually really happy with the variety we have, and there's a lot of
Yeah.
gaps filled in by regular troops. Like the Super Whiz is just fantastic. Like I love
Right.
that thing because I love to embarrass myself trying blizzards. So um, the super minion is like people tried it on offense when it first came out, but they quickly learned like this is a CC troop, and people, I mean, that scrambles your brain when you see it coming out of a CC.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
need to be ready.
Hmm. And then when people started throwing rocket loons in defensive CCs a few months back, it was like, you thought like you thought super minions were funny to watch. Ooh.
And there's nothing like seeing two super loons coming at you and you're not ready for it. Your queen will die real fast.
I'm
Yeah.
basically just like I might as well start playing with Carbon Finn's feet at that point.
I think a super hog rider would be really, really neat.
Yeah, I think like something where it can, or like until it, I don't know, until it gets to the defense, it's invisible, but
Mm-hmm.
or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, the commando hog, the jungle fighter hog. He runs in, can't see him until he gets there. I like it.
Okay, so we talked a little bit about the December update and new defense levels. And do you think we get any new troop levels, or are they
Hmm.
are they done with that sort of thing?
Well, you're not going to see another level of healer. You're probably not going to see another level of loon. Like, could an ice golem? They just did bowlers. Witches are already really powerful.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you upgraded witches and they were spawning more skeletons, like you'd never kill one if you screwed up a poison out of his DC.
Would probably cause a lot of people to jump off a ledge.
Uh, Boy, I can't really think of a troop that's like missing a level.
You know what needs a little more love, I think, is the bowler. I think you said it. Super Wiz have kind of taken their spot in
Mhm.
the average attacker's repertoire. I don't know that the
Yeah.
bowler really sees much action now.
Yeah, you know what? Also, like it was huge at like once when the Falcon came out at TH10, people were
Mm-hmm.
suddenly like the hit rates just went way up. Is the Valk. And I've seen some like meme army attacks by like Klaus and other guys with all Valks, but who not everyone is Klaus.
Yeah.
So like you see it, you see Valks to help fill out the Yeti CC. You see Valk to help kill Skellies with like a naked king.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, like you don't see them a lot.
And they are fun to use. It's unfortunate at the higher town hall levels that you really don't get to see much of them anymore.
And clearly the best singing voice in the game.
You can give us a demo?
No,
No.
no, I don't think so.
Okay.
Look, you want people coming back for your next episode, Kat?
That would be kind of nice, yeah. Let's talk about Town Hall 15 since we're kind of moving into that subject. What are some of the things that we think we might see? Do you think you might see like perhaps auto hero regeneration as a perk?
So maybe, I mean, Town Hall 7, we got the King, 9, the Queen, 11, the Warden, and 13, the RC. So I think at 15, we're due another
Mm-hmm.
hero. But, I still, during Gold Pass times, I'm over in the Builder base, and that hero regeneration, I think that could be something valuable for that next hero is a recurring ability for that Town Hall 15 hero.
Oh, like the builder base?
Yeah. An extra strong hit or a shield or something.
Like an air hero? Is that really all that's missing?
I think so. Yeah, everything's on the ground. I mean, the RC jumps over walls. The Warden kind of floats.
Now, I think like I don't. This is where they really painted themselves into a corner. I think
Mm-hmm.
not really with the hero, but with buildings because I don't think they can go over 100 buildings because my guess is there's like a technical limitation. They probably set it to where like percentages and such, it's a whole number instead of like decimals. So
Right.
Agreed.
you can't have like 103 buildings because at some point your percentage is going to repeat. And so I can go into like my old database administrator role and discuss that. But really, Kat, again, you want people coming back next time. So really, my thought is like you're going to see, I think, more buildings get like a bomb tower effect where there will be post destruction damage.
Mm-hmm.
But another interesting idea would be if you could garrison a defense, meaning you upgrade it and suddenly like there's a wizard next to an inferno tower or something. Or like once it
Mm.
takes a hit, like a little defensive wizard pops out, or name your troop.
Ah,
Oh,
Because
that's
I
cool.
like I don't know where I really don't know like what they can do if they really are hard capped at 100 buildings. Like you said, like the camps, the barracks, the pet thing, the pet
Yeah.
house. I mean, okay. So
Yeah, I think
I don't know what they're
if
gonna do.
you, yeah, I think if you look at it, well, they've said in the past that they're not going to make the home village any bigger. So you're right; they're capped at the number of buildings that they can put on there. I mean, at Town Hall 14, you're already pretty full. Like, there's not a lot of space, empty space left on your base. So the option is to take the non-defensive trash, so-called trash buildings, and give them some kind of defensive capability, like you said, like the army camps. Well, if they have a campfire, why can't the flame do damage or something? You know what I mean?
right. And could we have a home village that has more buildings than the war village? So when the percentage is 100, it's still 100 buildings. So, you lose barracks, but you gain this other defense, whatever it may be.
Yeah, that's interesting. Are there any wild and crazy things that you'd like to see Supercell? Like the sky's the limit. What if you could have anything you wanted when Town Hall 15 drops? What would it be?
A navy.
Ah, something out of the water. Okay.
Yeah, give
Like
me a
the
navy.
boat that's sitting there actually shoots at people?
Town Hall 15. Allow me to bring my builders in and all these dead bases. Let me dig up their gems and objects.
Oh, like
Okay.
you mean clear the trash around the dead bases?
Yeah,
And you get
actually
to collect your own gems?
pull
Interesting.
up all
Yeah.
the trees and
There
if
you
they have a
go.
gem box. Yeah.
Yeah, because often you'll hit a base and they haven't collected their gem box, and you're looking, why can't I click on that?
Imagine finding someone who's got the neatest little forest or little Christmas tree area.
Oh,
You're over
that
there
would be cruel.
screwing it.
It's not permanent. You're just clearing it at the
That's
moment,
like a
right?
I don't
It's
know.
not like the base.
Now, if my name were Magnus, I'd be all over this. Be toxic. And sorry, I love you, Magnus.
Yeah, I really can't think of anything major that I would want to see from. I can't think of what else they could do. I mean, the Giga Town Hall at 14 is already so horrible.
Ooh.
I hate to think of what they could come up with for Town Hall 15. I hope it's nothing worse.
Well, going with your campfire idea out of the army camps, I think, the thing's on fire and the fire spreads. I think that would be the next thing.
Or, I mean, the walls have lava in them, right? So,
Mm.
Well, maybe you don't have to look much farther than Builder Base.
yeah.
Maybe they upgrade their mortars to act more like that one that shoots out the lava.
Oh, yes.
They
The
have
mega
the
cannon.
yeah.
Hmm. I think you're right because they do seem to draw a lot from both Royale and Builder Base.
I always thought they used the Builder Base to kind of do trial balloons, and if they were gonna like do changes to hero behavior, like I've seen weird stuff with the builder hero and that.
Hmm.
I always thought maybe they tried things out in there to see how it worked before they implemented it in the main base.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Maybe the super hog rider troop would be a hog glider.
Yeah. See?
You know,
Uh-huh.
he just floats over the base and you could target a certain defense with him. That would be interesting.
That would be good. Yeah. That would be good.
All right. Well, I want to thank Fado for coming on the show tonight and really appreciate it. And do you have any comments or shout outs, Fado?
No, I want to thank you very much for having me. I want to apologize for the Magnus comment a moment ago. We rib the heck out of each other in Discord, and he's such a great sport and always has a good attitude. So shout out to Magnus. A big shout out to TT. It's weird to think it's almost inspirational watching them. They're regular dudes,
Mm-hmm.
no ego, doing their own thing. Chat can be as toxic as it can be, and they're just doing their thing without letting anything affect them. They really embody that we control what we control message that ODS is so big on. So
Mm-hmm.
big shout out to them. Big shout out to anyone from the Wall and Rated days. Hi AJ, love you. A huge shout out to Raz for all the stuff he does at Darkthorn. And they don't need a plug, but Hook to Clash and Itsu just put out a lot of great videos, a lot of great content. You can learn a lot and get ideas from watching them. So some of my more spectacular and interesting failures, kudos, thanks to those guys. And of course, big shout out to you guys.
Oh,
Red
thank you.
Thorn is family. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And Peter, how about you?
I actually also have a shout out to Raz. He and I were talking about, we're both max Town Hall 14s now. We're going to get the gold pass. And that's when the whole Golem King skin came around. And I said, I wonder how much, if you sell everything, how many gems is that really worth? Like, if we just buy a pack of gems for the $6.99 or the $5.99 that the gold pass is, how much more value? So Raz says, I'm going to find out. So this month's gold pass, he tells me, officially is worth 620 gems. So if you just sold everything, you'd still end up with more gems than if you just went and bought gems from the store. So thanks, Raz. Thanks, Kat.
Awesome. I'm going to shout out to Rusty and all the people in British Columbia tonight who are dealing with the heavy rains and floods and the mudslides. They evacuated a whole city apparently out there. I've seen some of the pictures. It's pretty horrendous. So our thoughts are with everyone there, and hopefully the rain stops soon.
Yes.
And thank you everybody for listening. If you're looking for a great group of clans in either Clash of Clans or Clash Royale, visit the Clash Files Discord to apply. As always, please send us your comments, ideas, and questions on Twitter at KGH Podcast or join the Clash Files Discord at discord.gg/clashfiles.